I think we're live. I don't know. I'm having a little bit of OBS issues. Um, so hopefully we're live.
I think we're still hosting Scarticus.
Let's see. Come on.
Still
Oh.
looks crap on that.
Oh,
Wait,
there we go.
there we go.
There we are. Hi. Okay, folks. Yeah, OBS being fun and exciting, and it's fun and excitingness. So here we are, and welcome. And yeah, oh wow, now yeah, the way you've moved in the light, Luna, you are really gone.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah. Oh no, I might. Maybe I should change. I'll be
Your
back.
call. Your call. You can.
It's.
Here, I can turn off your
it
camera if you want to make it. If you want to go
eventually.
do a quick change, I can totally turn. I can turn off your camera here for a second.
No, it's it'll be fine. I'll just be a disembodied head sometimes.
Oh, cool. If you're good, well, I was gonna say I already have Kyle as disembodied head, so floating in darkness. So it's the stream of disembodied heads. Anyway,
Yeah.
welcome to the Vice. Yes, here we are, pro streaming live, coming at you with all the stuff and things. Let's go around and introduce our players. First off, we have Bird versus Plane.
What's up, folks? I'm Bird vs. Plane. I'll be playing Iskatul, the half-elf bard turned gunslinger who... I gotta find some answers on Florian, man. I was that dude briefly in a flashback. I gotta find my boy. I gotta save my boy.
There you go. Next up, we have the incomparable NNG9 and friend.
Hello, I am NNG9. This is my escape artist, Noodle Shalon. I play Luna, or Water Genasi Bunk, who does not have an animal companion, and is, just doing just a simple life of not planning massive assaults on churches. You know.
You know, those things. Just the little stuff. Next up, we have Good Guy Pie.
Hi everyone, I'm Good Guy Pie. I will be playing Luck Goldheart Adventure Extraordinaire with his voice back. Finally got it back. All the way from Elevation Pit. And, it's good to be back in Sojourn's Landing. That's where we are, right?
That is Sojourn's Crossing, but sure. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call
Pretty
it.
sure it was Gold Landing a couple of times.
You know, y'all can just... I
Some
finally
say
got
its
it
true
right.
name is lost to the past.
I was going to say... It was originally Sojourn's Landing, and then I renamed it to Crossing, and I got good about it, and now y'all are making me go back. You all are horrible, horrible people. So,
I mean, bad memories is a slippery slope.
hey, I feel it every single time I can't find my keys in the morning. So, anyway, next up, we have Dragons or Cats.
Hello everyone, I am Dragons and Cats coming all the way from Darkness of Australia at 5 a.m. and I am so excited to be here tonight playing Vidar Lycran, Hexblade Warlock to Lysithia, the Soul-Forged Eclipse. Let's go find out what is going on in Sojourn's Crossing.
And I am Tall Squall. I'm your DM and your host for today. The Vice is run 100% for charity. We are supporting Outright Action International. If you'd like to donate or check out their website, you can in the doobly-doo down below. If we don't have any other announcements, other than that we're going to be off. Hey, Bams24, thanks for the $3. We are going to be off for the next 2 weeks because a bunch of us are going to Gen Con and doing that thing. And I don't think we've got any other announcements unless someone else has got one. With that, I think we will go ahead and dive on into the Vice. And with that, we are back. I know that was a little bit choppy. OBS was playing tricks on me earlier with some encoding, so I was using my software encoder to do it. We're going to take a look at what the stream looks like just normally, and if it seems to be doing okay, we'll stick with it. If not, we'll do a restart at a lower stream rate in order to make sure that you all can watch and follow along. Anyway, last time on The Vice, we actually did a little bit of quick travel from up at all the way really close to Elevation Pit, back at Luna's Spring, which is one of the places the party camped out at way back in like episode 3. And basically, we followed sort of Riley's trip. Axel's son, as he went along, as he sort of checked in with each of our different player characters. And as he did so, sort of growing up on the road along the way, arriving in Sojourn's Crossing, our party went back to the familiar sights and sounds of the Cloak and Fireball, the giant 3-story tavern that lies literally right at the crossing of the two roads, pretty much the central hub of all the activity in Sojourn's Crossing. They met up with and saw their old friend Agatha, the Drake, the Alehouse Drake, who has been in the family for years and years and years, generations of the Dwarven family of the Frostbeards, who own the place. They said hello to Thorben Frostbeard, known for his blue hair and beard and his family's ability with the element of cold in order to keep things. So one of the few places in our world that pretty much serves cold beer. And while they were saying hello and getting rooms, they heard a ruckus outside. Luna, actually from upstairs, running upstairs to go try to find Sky, one of the Genasi, the Air Genasi, who had befriended them when they were here last. They heard a huge ruckus outside, sounds of battle, and as they charged out back to investigate, they found Gandry much changed from when they had rescued him 4 months ago from Verdant Falls, having been training with Renart, now a formidable warrior. His Fire Genasi heritage seeming to have become more prevalent to the point where he needed to have armor that could take the heat that is generated as he goes into battle. And basically, they discovered and recognized him from Axel's vision, Axel did, as this fiery warrior that they had seen battling alongside Luck and Sethander, the Air Genasi, who was a part of the prophecy that they have heard of as well. Upon changing out of his training gear and saying hello to Luna, assured her that he was ready to go off and kill all the tieflings, as she had kind of radicalized him a little bit before leaving 100 episodes ago. And after sort of having a good talk about how she's learned more and knows differently now, brought him around to a more temperate place. Meanwhile, Iska was inside. Actually had not heard the ruckus because she was up basically reintroducing herself and hearing stories from the bards and the band that plays there. And Bowie Boffin, who is a good friend of hers and who she played with multiple times while she was here, basically had invited her to play a set or two, and so kind of missed out on the things that were going on outside. But the party returned back inside to have some breakfast, and Agatha came over and making her sort of sphere of quiet, of this illusionary sphere where they could speak in private, even in the middle of a crowded room, revealed that she had become empowered since they were last here with the awakening of Gwilyn Fura, the last bastion that their adventures had awakened along the way, and revealed herself not just as any Drake, but a rune Drake, which they knew from their studies and from the prophecies were in fact the allies of the glyph scale dragons and bastions. We're going to turn to Iska as you finish up playing a set and find yourself up on stage, and you see across the room, you see your friends, your party, starting to eat their breakfast. Seems like they're just casually talking, but have now gathered, and you find yourself here back in Sojourn's Crossing.
Do I have any awareness, like has anyone in Sojourn spoken about Florian or his condition to Iska?
Agatha did when you first came in.
But it was just kind of a once-off, he was attacked, that's kind of it?
Correct. Just some nasty business with Florian, basically, is what she'd said. From across the room, you can see Agatha is there with your party. She seems to be regaling them with whatever gossip.
I'm going to turn to good old Bowie Boffin. I'm guessing whatever information Agatha has is probably stronger than what someone like Boffin would have, but I want to know what the story is, like what the people know, if that makes sense. Like if there is something being hidden, what the cover story is. So just kind of turn to Boffin and say, like, thank you so much for letting me grace your stage once again. But there is something.
Are you kidding? It's like your song to bring it up the most money that we've had in months.
Yeah. What can
and
I
children
say?
of the children, tears and tips every time.
Well, I'll keep those tips coming, Bowie. If you give me one of your own. I have some unfinished business with Florian, employers, contracts, that sort of thing. Has he been around lately, or you know where I can find him?
3 days ago. He sort of looks side to side. You didn't hear it from me, but I hear that there was some shenanigans that went on.
Any chance you can be slightly more specific with the word shenanigans?
Well, they're just saying he took ill. But those who know, someone tried to kill him.
Any idea who this someone is?
No one knows. Ever since sort of the underground here fell apart. And Jungle, when he disappeared,
Jungler, that's right.
Things haven't been the same. You can't get the information that you used to be able to. But yeah, it's got to be the cover story. They started saying that everything was fine and dandy like 3 or 4 days ago, but the saying it's got to be coming up on 2 weeks. No one's really seen him.
Is Balshirian by his side? Is he still at the stable?
Balshirian's locked up. He was going to start ripping people's arms off.
Where is he?
Balshirian? Oh, he's down in the stables. They got him locked up.
Great. Thanks, Bowie. She will, if there's, kind of like a pot of money on the ground with Iska's tips in it, she'll just kind of slide it with her foot towards him. Pleasure as always.
I always liked you.
And Iska will go rejoin the group.
As you walk over, right now it is crowded. It is just heaving here in the Cloak and Fireball. And all of you, you sort of have to sort of push your way through the crowd of this big 2-story common room as you head over, sort of dodging out of the way of Madeline's servers running around food. There's people drinking. There's people drunk already, even though it's probably only 10 or 11 in the morning because, travel days. And people getting ready. They're heading to the conclave. You hear all kinds of different gossip and conversation happening around you. And as you approach, there's this weird sort of kind of feeling in the pit of your stomach as you step forward. And as you approach, you sort of see Agatha and the party, and they're all just sort of like eating and the sounds of normal sort of conversation. And then as you step through, what's in front of you completely changes. You see serious looks on everyone's faces, and you see Agatha there on the table, not sort of dancing about and doing her normal thing, sort of picking stuff off of people's plates. You see that she has spread her wings wide and she is covered in runes. And you pick up just as she finishes saying that she is in fact a rune drake. You are familiar with this from last time you were here, this sort of bubble of privacy that Agatha is able to grant as some of her rune drake heritage. And she goes, she looks at you, "Oh dear, that was lovely. Missed your voice over the last bit."
Yeah, I missed this place quite a new thing with the wings. Looking good. And when she says good, kind of gives a thumbs up and looks to the rest of the group to make sure this actually is a good thing. It's kind of a weird thing to come into.
She looks at you and goes, "Oh, better than ever. Better than centuries ago, in fact. I was just saying how, with the awakening of our friend to the south, it has awakened some of my magic as well. So, quite advantageous, if you will. Just in time, apparently, too, as things seem to be in motion around this conclave. It seems to be different than some of the others."
That's an understatement.
So, I had an interesting feeling. You see, the rune drakes here, we are sort of the eyes and ears of the glyph scales. When you're the size of a village, it is a bit inconvenient and frankly uncomfortable to shrink down to a size to be able to interact with others. So, we tend to be the face in the hands of our larger brethren. But I know you've traveled much further than you should have, because from a friend of mine saw you just a very short while ago in Falcon's Crest. One of my kin, but goes by the name of Gustav. A drake like myself, but black and blue.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Y'all will
Friends
recall
of the...
Gustav was Ben Vardy, the detective's drake.
The Dragonborn.
Yes, the Dragonborn.
Bronze scale, was he not? The detective, and he's...
Yes, he was bronze scale.
Ah, that's right.
As I said, we have more of an empathic connection than true communication. But there was a familiarity that I was able to pick up across the way. Y'all's auras, so to speak.
You mean our leaves? You could sense it through the vice?
It is not so much a work of the Weaves. It's a work of the runes and glyphs that bind us. And she sort of makes motion to these now visible runes on her. And you would recognize many of them are the ancient draconic rune, the ancient dragon runes that Axel uses.
And I'm sure Axel's just staring and looking and making notes.
Oh yeah, Axel I think is 100% doing note taking at this point. You guys, one thing you do notice, Iska, this morning as Riley was coming into town and having felt a little bit more, been staying close to the group, you could tell he wasn't being nearly as adventurous. And all of the different wild sort of ways that he had been doing his hair became very sort of now just sort of short and cropped close to his head. However, this morning where it was all completely sort of green, sort of moss green like, you can see now it's almost as though there's some bright orange lichen that has begun to sprout in sort of almost bright, looks almost like flames in color. He sort of sits across, and it's kind of almost, if he could have slack-jawed amazement, it would be as he sort of looks as Agatha is telling her story.
We do this kind of stuff on the regular, kid. Get used to it. Stop looking so surprised. And she'll give him a wink.
Miss Iska, you should see the guy outside. Flames on his hair, a giant sword.
She'll turn to Luna and just say, Gandry? Kind of smile to herself about, hearing just even how that flame is back is pretty awesome from where we left him.
Yeah, I think in your mind, you had a vision of his future as well when you sang.
Yeah, with the
Ironheart. So
that's great.
In your mind, it's sort of that almost, you can feel sort of the threads of fate sort of knotting and tying themselves together.
Nice. That's good. It's a good feeling. Something I've been curious about, and I want to ask Agatha. Agatha, you get around. You're the eyes and ears for the glyph scales. What do you know, and what did the people know? What's the word from East? We were there when that all happened.
Just now getting some of the information in. They've just arrived. We've had a few fast reports that came up, people sending messages, but nasty bit of business. You are in the middle of that. A Netherwing attack, and then everyone's talking of these saviors of East, these scarlet-robed mages.
Daves.
Oh, no. Not saviors. They are not saviors whatsoever. They are in conjunction with the Neverwinks. They're not saviors. They are not.
But all the reports were saying that they were standing the walls and holding back this Netherwing. There's quite a few people all abuzz about it.
Oh, yes, but they are also the reason for Moss Hollow and the deaths there.
Now that is new news.
They go by the name of feeders. And by this, feeders. My theory is Neverwings cannot touch the ground. So to grow, they need their food lifted. And thus, entire villages lifted up into the air for Neverwings.
So, the nursery rhyme. You're talking about the nursery rhyme about feeders.
Yes.
That's the red robes.
That's the red robes. Do you want to know why the Neverwing attacked? We may have pissed it off.
She sort of looks at you with a harsh glare and puts her glasses down on her nose. You might have pissed it off.
Yeah, we took a couple of scales from it in the vice. And they came chasing after us, and so these leaders had to seemingly play the hero part as their massive beast went out of control.
Interesting. I'll have to try to see if I can find out more to put this together a little bit.
I'm willing to help.
Whoever you're in contact with, too, they're not done. And we've seen them, and we think we're going to see them again soon. Just, if you are keeping an eye out, please let people know the feeders are out there.
Malcolm's caravan, the one we came in on, their tents and pavilions are going to be at the conclave. Now, Axel's...
There'll be plenty of tents at the conclave.
Yes, but Axel has had a vision. This vision shows these feeders wandering in through the darkness at night, ready to do the same thing that they did at Moss Hollow at the conclave.
Sure? What evidence
Axel?
do you have for this?
Axel. Yeah, look over Axel.
I saw it. I saw all of it. But I saw it. But I also it was kind of fuzzy, and afterwards, I paid a price, quite a heavy price. I lost my mind for a bit. So, like all visions, I there's not context. I saw red-robed figures skulking about the night at the conclave. But I didn't see them. I didn't see the bloodshed that we saw at Moss Hollow. I didn't see them being fed, feeding people. So I don't know. I don't know. It's
okay. Like, it's something we can work off, but we have a lead in a way. Now, what we need to keep an eye out on, anyone's aura that has been maybe in contact, maybe it shows, maybe you can see people's auras that have been in contact with Neverwings. I don't know. Is that a thing?
Oh, just like I say, it's a bit of a... It's my empathic link is with other rune drakes, dear. It's not necessarily... It's what they see. What Gustav was feeling.
I see.
And there was a recognition of... You all make quite an impression.
My other theory states that the Arcana Mystica is directly involved with these feeders.
Well, the Arcana Mystica has been moving in mysterious ways lately. But it seems to be there's infighting amongst them. Not all people are agreeing with what all the Archmistress seems to be dishing out. Some good, some bad. There are those who follow her no matter what, and then there's those who have a group of very intelligent people who are hard-pressed to just take orders without asking questions.
We need to be aligned with those people, I feel. Florian was so...
Splinter group? Do we know any leaders of the Splinter group, or are they making themselves known?
Not making themselves known, just... I think...
I feel like Florian's been set as an example then.
I don't know what happened with Florian, but something was out of nowhere. was not behaving differently. He was, in fact, towing the line of the Archmistress quite heavily. I would have told you he would be one to avoid, that he would be one who would turn in those who might be acting not fully in her favor. Up until right when it happened, I would say, even. Balshirian had his way. He would rip the town apart, trying to figure out who and why.
I'll go speak to him after this.
Do be careful, dear. He is not in his right mind. You always did have a connection, though.
Do you know anything about a gold dragonborn as well?
You'll have to be more specific, dear.
Axel explained that there was a gold dragonborn. Now, out of character, was it?
Callista? Was that her name?
Callista
Yeah.
is who it was, yes. And
I think maybe asked.
But
Axel did tell you all Callista. It's just that Vidar's never met Callista.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's just so he's just going to explain what Axel told us about the gold dragonborn and be like, "Does this ring a bell at all?"
I've not.
Apparently, name's Callista.
Oh, Callista. Well, she left not long after you did, and I can't say much information's traveling up from the site of the Conclave. Most everyone's headed that direction, as you know. Word of mouth is how things get around, so I've not heard of any tale of her with a new sword, or certainly we haven't heard anything about battles.
Right. Okay. So, if you hear about her getting closer, or anything, we need to be very careful. It is prophesied that she is going to be wielding a weapon akin to my own, and has quite the tendency for war, famine, and just a complete annihilation, basically. And the blade's name is Ryan Talia. She is very, very corrupting.
Ryan Talia, you say?
Ryan Talia. Just Sword of the Sun. The burned star.
That's interesting. I've
Go
never
on.
heard the name before, but the southern continent, Rymera, which is a harsh land of desert and storm, was known for a brutal goddess that ruled. A goddess without form.
See, I'm not surprised if that's her doing at all.
The names are certainly might lead you that way. That's the whole continent using that same type of nomenclature. But Ryan Talley, you say, I will see. It is disheartening to hear that, as while I don't have any direct message, there is another of my kind who is stationed in the south, on the southern continent, down with the great dragon Jin Sarat. And there is something building down there. There is I don't know exactly what, but it is, call it a feeling, as though something is awakening. Something, knowledge that must be found, is the most I've been able to read. But that is the land of the dragons. The Draconoids, the Dragonborn, the Lizardmen, and perhaps even this sword.
At the mention of that, I'm going to hold my hand up and use prestidigitation to create a life-size representation of the burnished star, just and show the design of it and say, if you ever get in contact with your friend, tell him to be wary of this blade. If this blade brings nothing but trouble, famine, and disaster, war is its calling. And if you're saying that a cruel goddess caused that land to be like that, I do not want that for this one. We're already trying hard enough to save this. We don't need a disaster like that coming through.
I will keep my ears open.
Thank you. Thank you. We're trying.
So Luna and Luck, as this is conversations going on. Hey, thanks, 12-sided guy. Appreciate that. As all this talk is happening, anything special y'all are up to, or just breakfast?
Because this is the next.
No, this is, well, it was late breakfast. We'll call it brunch. Y'all, after coming in, y'all arrived at town first thing in the morning. You spent time with Gandry, and
I just
then
want to make sure it's the same day that I talked to Brother Anthony.
it is the same day that you talked with
Okay, it was just really early.
Brother Nancy. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's probably, I'd say about an hour ago is when you spoke with him at this point.
Okay. All right, she's keeping an eye on if he's going to leave or not. So she's sort of half paying attention to the conversation.
Do me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 20?
On a 20, you see him over there in his cups, and sort of see him getting a little deeper and deeper into them at the end of the bar.
I think it's just like, I think at that point she might actually go back over to him.
Okay.
Yeah, because the conversation happened. It's just like, that's way too magic. Don't get it. Leaving.
Yeah. As you go over, about at the same time as you approach, his head falls to the bar. Kunk.
Okay. Got it. No, he can't sleep there. She'll try and get him situated somewhere more comfortable.
Yeah.
Come on. This is no place for sleeping.
I don't have any gold if you're charging, honey.
That's... You would not be able to pay for my services.
I didn't think so. Just checking.
We'll just get you some more comfortable. She'll try and she will situate him in one of the rooms the party has, and
Okay.
she's actually probably going to find somewhere else to sleep. Like, basically let him have her bed.
Gotcha. So yeah, he you sort of plop him down and lie him on his stomach, put a trash can near his head.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and get him taken care of.
Yep. And then she'll go back down with everybody else.
We are gonna jump. Basically, Agatha, sort of as Luna's leaving and has done the last little bit, unless Iska, if you've got anything to ask her more, she sort of looks around. She goes, "Well, if we need to talk more, we'll do it later this evening. Well, there's no one who can truly penetrate this. There are some who could detect that something's amiss, so I hate to leave it up for too long. So, if you need me, just put a plate of cheese on the table and I'll find you. And you see the boom, this sort of weird, sort of liquidy bubble of magic that's around you, sort of almost just pop, and everything just is no longer like listening to it through water. And apparently the illusion that you all were not having a serious conversation, just whatever, light breakfast brunch banter fades as you all are there, and she flutters off up into the rafters. We're going to turn to Iska now, just because I know Bird has to leave a little bit early today. So if you were wanting to go see Balshirian.
Just real quick, yeah, it doesn't have to be a long scene or anything. I just kind of want to see what Balsh knows, if anything, and just kind of calm the big boy down.
I think Luna would accompany her, but not say anything. It's more just like make sure nobody goes by themselves.
Okay. Luck, what are you thinking?
He'll come along. He's curious what's going on with Florian in this case.
Okay. We're going to assume that probably Vidar tags along as well, but we'll double check when he gets back. So you all head down to the barn. I only have a rain one, but it's not raining. To Balshirian's barn. And as you approach down here to the to this area, the stables, you recall them, Iska, very well, as she cleaned this sort of private stable area of Balshirian's many times while she was here before, and befriended him along with Kel. And you see this paddock that he was in, this actual stable. The barn doors are closed. There's a huge bar across them. It is locked. You actually don't see guards on it, as apparently with the amount of protections on it, I guess they have felt that it is okay. You do see standing a ways away, like not right at the barn, but like well out of the way, probably a good 100 feet away. Some guards there who have heavy crossbows, and they're keeping their eyes on that stable.
Can I see, or is there some kind of dwelling that has the stable master who Iska like talked to last time they were here, who like kind of gave her the grooming tools for Balshirian and everything?
Well, the grooming tools came from Dustin, actually.
That's right. They came from Dustin, but it was still the.
But there's the old guy there. There is old Alfred, who is sitting over there, still kind of snoozing, not doing his job, and he's just sort of has his hat pulled down over his head, sort of sitting on a bucket, snoozing.
She will storm up to old Alfred and kind of stand in front of him and clear her throat deeply, seeing if it will startle him awake or get any sign of acknowledgement from him.
You clear your throat. He doesn't seem to move.
She will just reach out with her foot and kind of like kick the bottom of his shoe or boot. Not rough, but just kind of something to kind of jolt him awake, hopefully.
Hey! What's your lot? Leave the man alone.
I'm here to see Balshirian.
You crazy?
I'm not crazy. I am acting.
So you're
on the
stupid.
Arcana Mystica. I was assigned by Florian to be Balshirian's caretaker. It's what I do when I return to Sojourns. I understand there's some trouble right now with him. I am one of the only people, if not the only person, who can try to calm him down. What's the plan? To leave him locked up for the rest of his life?
Well, yeah? Well, shoot him if he tries to get out.
He's no good in there. You know how crazy and terrible this world can be. Certainly you've heard the rumors of things going on the opposite side of the Vice, right? Please, let me talk to Balshirian. See if I can get him in a good headspace. Calm him down.
Do me a persuasion check.
I will. A 32.
Well then.
Your life. Don't say I didn't warn you, though. And I ain't opening the door, though. And he just throws you the keys.
And she will catch them. And is this still in like view of the guards with the crossbows and everything?
Yeah.
She will
They're
just
kind of looking. They're kind of eyeing you.
She will make a show of catching the keys and turn back to them and hold the keys up.
They
And then-
nod at you, and you see the two that are sort of catty corner bring their heavy crossbows up. They're not aiming at you; they're aiming at the door. And you see them nod up into the air. There's two more from above.
Luke's gonna position himself sort of ready to. Is it like a push open or pull open door?
This would be a pull open door.
Yeah. So Luke will get ready to sort of pull open the door for Iska.
Hey, real quick, thanks Wandering DM for the raid.
Thanks, Wandering DM. Appreciate it.
So she, Kyle, just as a heads up, we're at the stables where Balshirian's being kept under like lock and key. We didn't know if Vidar was coming with or whatever, so you can be there or not be there, whatever you want to do, man.
Vidar will be there.
Great. Iska will approach the stable with Luck there, getting ready to open the door and everything.
As,
Go ahead.
as you approach, you hear a growl from inside. If you're opening that door, I'm not stopping.
She let out a deep breath. Balshirian, it's Iska. I know something happened, something bad, and I want to talk to you about it because I want to fix it. I need you to calm down. You're no good to Florian dead, Balsh.
You think those heavy crossbows can kill me before I can kill them?
So then what? You kill another 10 or 15, you're still dead at some point, Balshirian. And Florian rots away somewhere. Keep your head. It's the only way we're going to figure out who did this and why.
Do me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
17.
I'll give you 5 minutes before I do what I feel necessary at the end of that time.
Mentally, to the group, we cannot let him out of here, no matter what, whatever it takes. Are you guys comfortable with this? I don't want to sign anyone up for anything they don't. I don't want to sign you all up for fighting a griffin.
I'm a man with a death wish. I'm in for it.
I can stop him if need be, if he's going to make a run for it.
Axel, you can see nods.
I'm coming in. Shield. Put the key in the lock, and I hope not kill a griffin today.
You put the key in the lock and see the form of Balshirian. Angry, his claws sort of ripping through the ground. He is pacing back and forth. eyes on you, but they keep darting towards the open door as well.
Okay.
He peers at you deeply. So, what do you have to say? What is it that you think you can do? He paces back and forth, his blue feathers sort of shimmering, the gold tips sort of shining.
We are not the same people we were last we met, Balshirian. We are stronger, we are better, and we are more in tune with this world and the people within it. You need to tell me everything you know about the attack. And I'll do everything I can to bring these people to justice.
About the attack, I know nothing.
What have you found then? Your follow-up, your rage. It's kept you here now, hidden away.
When I felt Florian fall, I charged from this place to his side. But there was nothing to be seen.
Where did it happen and when? At what time of the day? Night, morning, noon?
They came at night like cowards into his house. They found him. Those who calmed me last time, saying they would find out what's happening, told me that they were putting him into stasis of some sort. That whatever is affecting him poisoned his mind, is eating it away.
And these were members of the Arcana Mystica who told you this?
No. They had lies upon them. But Nathaniel, I trust. That is who told me of this psychic poison affecting him.
How did he know? Was he acting differently? How could Nathaniel know of this thing messing with his mind?
He said he heard it from the cleric, who tried to treat him but had no success.
Did you get a look at this cleric?
It was just a cleric with one of the caravans passing through. Some minor practitioner of the healing arts, but apparently knew enough to stop the immediate danger. It was 2 days later that an abjurationist came from Balathira who put him in the stasis. They tried to restore him with the greatest of magics they had, but it could not revive him or stop the course of what was happening to him. He paces some more, going back and forth, looking to you and to the door. On 22, on one of his pacings,
Vidar's gonna move over towards the door.
He looks to Vidar. Do you want to test against me? Silly moon elf. But he whips his head back to Iska. What has changed in you? Why are you familiar with me in a way that you weren't before?
The last time we saw you, I wanted to do whatever I could to reunite and give you what you wanted again, to give you back the sky, to give you back Florian. And now I don't want to do it just for you. I want to do it for your brethren as well. I want to do it for, and because I don't remember them, she will name off the people that Florian in the flashback she had called out, the brothers and their griffins who they had just lost and who he was screaming about avenging when they fought in there.
How do you know those names, girl?
I told you, things are different now, Balshirian. Whatever connection you have with Florian, I have my own. And she will try to drop some of the rigidity of her posture and appear as like gentle and sincere as possible.
Balshirian stalks up toward you, murder in his eyes.
You were
Those
right about
eagle
him.
eyes staring right into yours.
You were right about him. He's not the man I thought he was.
How do you know this?
I can't explain the magics of it. But I've seen you and him, at your peak. I know who you both are. When you're together, when you're strong, when you're united. That's why I'm here, to figure out everything I can to bring you back together.
Roll me a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage on this.
Okay, I was gonna burn something. I'm gonna mulligan, actually.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. Screw it.
That's better.
On a 31, Balshirian staring into your eyes. It's almost as though he's staring into your soul. And you feel something. You feel that familiarity that you experienced when you were Florian, when you were inside Florian. You could feel the bond between Griffin and Master. And as Balshirian looks to you, angry, furious, there's almost a startled look that goes across Balshirian's face. And he rears back. That predatory beak and claws clench and then release. His face softens. We are bonded. How? I do not know, but Iskatol, you and I are bonded. And he comes over and puts his head sort of on your shoulder. And he weeps.
Kind of hold his head in a way and stay silent for a moment before saying to him, it's not all I saw, Valshirian. It's not all we saw. You'll fly with him again. And soon.
You hear this, because it's right in your ear. He's not trying to do it loud, but that sort of predatory, hawk-like screech of sort of pain, but then also just a weird part of hope.
Kind of using all of her strength to just, like, if he's like, you know.
Oh yeah, because I mean, you'd be literally, you know.
Yeah. So I'm kind of just trying to keep his head like focused and down where it was.
Yeah.
We need you alive. We need you strong. Physically and mentally. So you're ready when the time's right. Okay?
You were there, weren't you? The day of our greatest triumph. The triumph we could never tell. The triumph that broke Florian. Because he could not share the truth he knew.
The way things are heading, you're gonna have to relive that triumph. But there'll be no hiding it this time.
I've waited 90 years to kill another Netherwing. I will do it with pleasure.
So steel yourself and prepare. And
So,
just be ready for him, okay?
so, is that why they came after him? Does she know?
She might.
The secrets got released with the mirror, right?
Yep, secrets got released when the mirror was destroyed.
Yeah. We think so.
Good. Perhaps then I looks to Iska and around to the rest of the party. Or we can bring Florian back to the man he once was.
So nod and shoot. I'm trying to think what else I want to say here. We got some more information out of that. Kind of seems like Valshirian's tapped.
If it's done with her,
Yes.
Luna will stay where she is, but talk to Valshirian. If you would like, since it seems you have not been tended to in a while, I could assist you in cleaning yourself.
He looks sort of down at his feathers, and you do see there actually is blood
Shit.
on his feathers. And you're not quite sure whether that is from, a deer or something else. Oh yeah, no, I'm just in general.
Sure.
Yeah, but Valshirian looks to you and goes, "Your assistance is most welcome."
Still that, and then, I'll clean him up.
Yep. And you will see some of the implements, the specialized implements for griffin grooming there upon the walls if anyone wants to assist or whatever. But Balshirian, much like before, that rage that had unfocused him before, when it was the depression that had unfocused him, you kind of see that renewed life in his stride, and are just reminded of the physicality of this beast as it stalks around now, not quite ready, not in the same way that you were viewing it before, of needing to potentially defend yourself. But you all can take a couple hours if you all want to help Balshirian out, or
Iska will do that for sure. Like,
yeah,
people can leave if they want to, but yeah, she'll do that.
And Luna would stay since she was responsible, obviously.
yeah. So Luck, Vidar, hang out or have conversations, or move along to other things around town.
I think Vidar will go up to Balshiria and say, "Nice to meet you. I'm Vidar Lachran. It was a pleasure seeing your full grace and form, and I'm glad you didn't go for that door."
Balshirian looks. Perhaps we will have to spar sometime in the future.
Oh, I am ready to face those claws, my friend.
We'll see about that. Interestingly enough, as a note, Vidar actually has seen Balshirian before. Because in the vision, you saw Florian riding Balshirian. When you were Eva.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've seen that boy. But I think this is our proper introduction.
This is true. Yes, this is much more proper.
I'm gonna say to Balshirian, I saw it happen as well. I have an idea. There might be something we could do to maybe using Iska as a conduit to be able to speak to Florian mentally, if we can just get in and have a chance at it, but I don't know if it's possible.
Perhaps. I know they are not allowing anyone to see him or near his body as it lies in stasis. But if I can be of assistance as a conduit for Iska, that our bond, the three of us, could somehow release him from this mental prison and deterioration that is happening. Just let me know how I can help.
I'm gonna need to go over this with my companion.
Yeah. Axel will kind of chime in at this point and go, I have something that I might be able to do, but I can't do it today. So
That's okay.
But perhaps tomorrow or coming up, I could be able to. I could be able to help. I think. I want to research a little bit of almost what I did with Saki, how I looked through his eyes. Perhaps we can change that around a little. Use Balshirian to then get into Florian's mind.
Maybe we can use Lyle's connection as well as a amplifier by using both Iska connected to Balshirian to then transmit. I like that. That might work. That might work, Axel.
Yeah. We'll need to figure it out. We don't want any mistakes. You can.
No.
When you're messing with minds, that's. He sort of looks. You can see some fear in Axel's eyes after going through what he did with the divination of Mind magic is tricky.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay, Axel. We'll go grab some more notes and more paper. We'll go study. Go figure it out. We'll be prepared this time.
Balshirian kind of looks to. I'll make a roll real quick. You know what? No, I'm not, because he's an animal. He gets stuff. When Vidar mentions about sparring off against the claws, Balshirian gives Luna a look and kind of a raised eyebrow of the. Really? Who does he think he is?
Because what I was gonna say is, like, she'd murmur, since she's kind of already working on Belshir, she's murmuring, is there just like after Vidarov's spoke, just like, not much competition there.
But always could be good for a few laughs. And you hear this weird sort of avian chuckle. Yeah.
And we'll just nod.
And the difference in mood from before is palpable. But Balshirian looks to Iska as you all sort of wrap up for cleaning up for the day. And goes, "You are bonded some strange way, but it means that one day, if your promise is kept, we will ride the winds."
Sky back.
Recover the sky. And we'll let you all say adieu. And I know that Bird needs to say adieu as well. Tell us where we can find you around the internets, my friend.
Hey, folks, I'm Bird vs. Plane. You can find me everywhere under that name. Twitch, Twitter, Dude with J, as well as my own solo streams. If you're going to Gen Con, I'll be at Gen Con. Come say hey. Come play something. Come have some laughs and a coffee or a beer. I can't wait for it, and I can't wait to do more Vice in a couple weeks here. So, guys, have a great session. Thanks so much for fitting me in real quick.
Awesome. Have a good one. I need to do cameras. There we go. And you know what? I actually need to go quick bio. So tell you what, let's actually get in our pun of the week for once. You give me a second just to give you a little bit of more screen than you've got right now. You are currently Templar Warden, but we can fix that very soon. Look at that. Luck even ended up in the right place.
How lucky of him.
How lucky of him. It's because he's that pro streamer. Of all of us, he's the pro.
I thought it was the luck trait, actually, but sure.
There you go. I'm going to do a quick bio break and return momentito. But yeah, I'm going to turn over to you. Luna, if you want. Luna.
Hey.
Alicia, if you want.
I got it. Thank you very much, Jay. Hello, audience.
There you go.
If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. This channel is run 100% for charity. This month's charity being Outright Action International, Humans Right for LGBT people everywhere. That's kind of their mission. They do a lot of good work. There's lots of good information on the website. If you're interested in finding out more about what they do directly, please click on the purple lettering in the description below. If you'd like to donate to them through our channel and do stuff to affect the game, click on the banner above that and it'll take you to the page to make your donation. And the way you can, and what can you do with donations, you ask? Well, let me tell you. For any amount, you can add to the spell bank, and at every $100 increment, the spell level we get increases. So at 100, level 1 spell, 200, level 2 spell, so on and so forth. For $1, you can give the player D10 healing dice. It can be used as a free action. $2, you can give a player an advantage. For $3, you can give a player a D12 Bardic Inspiration. For $5, you can give a player a luck dice. It's basically a mulligan dice. It's on anything except for death saving throws. For $10, you can give one of us a random potion from the party punch bowl. You get to roll some dice, or we get to roll some dice. Somebody gets to roll some dice. And I think we're still doing the $25 donate an action surge. It's still on there, so I guess that's still a thing you can do. But please don't feel pressure to donate. You can do things like share us on Twitter or other social media platforms. And in any case, we hope you continue to enjoy the show. Good guy, do you have a recommendation this week?
I do have one. Hold on. There we go. An interesting read into a bit of the political world from a book called The Prince, written by Niccolò Machiavelli. It was an Italian nobleman who sort of got relinquished out of power, thrown into prison, and he wrote this book. And it's I'm not going to say his ideas were good, but it was an interesting look into trying to keep control of a country by using
Something.
So, yeah. Of the, as you were saying, interesting look into the mindset of Italy back then, and can sort of even trace the influences of this book and of the of it to modern day. So, if you want to have a dive into history and sort of a view of what the people thought back then, this book is a very good sort of read for that. Yeah.
Nope, sure haven't. Now time for everybody's favorite part of the show, pun of the week. What do you call it when spaghetti has low confidence?
What?
It has imposter syndrome.
Whoa. Damn, we had a feed break.
I have to live here too.
Enjoy your Gen Con.
Gallery. You're welcome.
Should be arrested.
You're welcome. What's shame?
No, that'd be me. I'm sorry. Thank you, Fernando. No, that would be me having my mic muted to the stream. Wow. Yeah, no. Kyle, Alicia's Kyle. Yes, I do not envy you.
Hey, see, now just think about it this way. You hear what I deem good enough to have on air.
Oh, he's like a guinea pig. Oh no.
Man. That's even worse.
But think of all the ones that just don't hit, or the ones that are just lame. And they're just like,
There's no such thing as a lame pun. It's only misplaced.
all the misplaced ones then. Suffer.
So, I need to get your screen back. get you back green screened. Actually, I might leave you off green screen so that you don't disappear.
I can take the green screen off if you want.
Oh no, that's fine. No, I'm just
Okay.
I'm just not gonna turn on a filter because then it just I'm just gonna leave it as it is. With you, you have a green background instead of being transparent.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So, as you guys leave Balshirians, I'd say at this point it's probably mid-afternoon. What would you like to do? What's Luck up to? Or is there Luck just along for the ride, or do you have things that you want to accomplish?
He's off to go and visit Marge and Harold.
Ooh, okay. Cool. Vidar, I know you had said you wanted to do some shopping. Do you want to tag along? And I guess in that question would be if Luna wants to tag along or whether she wants to
No.
do something different. Okay.
Vidar will hang out with Luck.
Okay.
We'll go along saying, I need to grab some things too if we're going to be trying some magical hoo-ha.
Yep, and Axel's definitely going along because he was looking for a bow for Riley. So, you guys make your way. Actually, let's get us back to some non-Balshirian music. I love Balshirian. I swear he's one of my favorite characters to play. I get to do my rumbly voice.
It's an impeccable choice on your part.
Oh, you no! Oh, you snuck that in there.
You're welcome.
You're not.
I can hear rage behind the screen.
Really?
Rocks fall. Rocks fall. Luna dies.
Hey, Luna didn't say it. I did. If you want to drop rocks on me when we get to Florida, sure.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Wow. Anyway, so you all head up through Sojourn's Crossing. It is heaving at this point. The entire area, basically from down by the stables, it's hard for you guys to even walk to get out of this area because there are so many wagons that are pulling in, horses being taken out of their reins, being put into paddocks, people, so much gold and money exchanging hands as people are, getting someplace to store their goods for the night. You also see a lot of people taking their wagons directly over to the Mercantile, which is this giant warehouse-sized structure. That's where Sky's dad works as one of the main sort of traders in the Mercantile that helps to basically take different caravans loads of goods and sort of trade them back and forth so that not every caravan has to go to every place, that you can restock yourself with things from the Stone Anvil Peninsula. You can restock your things from Balathira, certainly from Highmount. Right now, everything's sort of heading in that direction. You don't have a whole lot of things coming up the road, as Agatha has said. But it is just a buzz and a flurry of people, of livestock, of animals. As most of you know, because the distances are so long, it's not just horses and oxes pulling wagons here. You have people who have livestock that is to be slaughtered along the way. It is people trading in pigs and cows, and horses, and goats and chickens. I mean, so it is just a complete riot of commerce that is happening around you in this sort of very sort of agricultural type setting, because here in the southern quarter, it is all about that. The entire southern quarter of this town is basically made up of stables and barns and stalls and paddocks and hitching posts and wagon traders and blacksmiths, etc. down in this area. But you are able to fight your way through, sort of bumping and jostling your way up over to the western quarter, where, again, it is absolutely heaving with people. And you do see the familiar sort of quad stall of Marge and Harold's Magic Emporium. There are there's like a line hanging out of their door. There's people coming out with things. There's people going in with things. As you know, Marge very much is a dealer of both directions, buyer and seller of magical goods. You do see the familiar form of Harold out front, this towering 7.5 foot tall, full-blooded orc with this giant axe covered in runes. You can see that normally before, when you see that he was sort of sitting in his chair with the axe beside him, he is sort of in full-on intimidation mode, that he doesn't want to have any shenanigans happening inside the store. He basically goes from having the axe head down on the ground to, if there's anyone who's coming in who either is carrying lots of magical items, or just even the little bit shiftiness, or if there's any tomfoolery, people pushing or shoving in this line, that axe goes up on his shoulder, and this long, large growl showing through between these huge tusks of this green orc, just and pretty quickly things straighten themselves out without Harold intervening. Built like a brick house, and it is, he rules over this with an iron fist. You all can hop in line. You can try to talk your way in, or you can hop in line and just wait. Probably about a 30-minute wait, it looks like, with the way things are moving to get inside.
Lines are there for a reason. So Look will pop himself behind the last person in the line.
Yep, I was gonna say, good guy, you're English, you know how to queue.
Yeah.
Vidar, Luna, I think Axel probably is. We'll have Axel get in line, just because since he's not here, we won't have him make trouble.
Yeah, Vidar's going to line up and get in line with them, just
So
go over his things.
as you all do that, I know, Luna, you are off elsewhere. Yep. Okay. So we'll catch up with you in a little bit. So you guys wait in line. Not too bad for old Harold. But as you all pass by, you sort of see Harold look down at Axel a little bit, as he told stories to Axel on their last visit. And he kind of gives a grunt and a nod, but doesn't show any sort of preferential treatment. Luck, as you walk by now, before, basically Harold had all but a foot of height on you. Now he's only got about a little bit of, probably half a head's worth of height. As you are much bigger and broader as well. He kind of gives you this assessing gaze and sort of bows up a little bit as you go by. A little silver backing going on as another sort of large, very experienced fighter walks by, but sort of gives you a nod of not recognizing you, but recognition of your physicality and your being a 9th level adventurer.
10th.
Yeah, 10th level. That's right. Y'all are level 10 now. Did I let y'all get to level 10? When did I let that happen? God.
After we fought the archdemon, about then.
Yeah, about then. I guess that was worth it. You all step inside, and you do. Marge looks up from behind the desk, turns around, and goes, "Well, if it isn't Axel, how are you?" That is not her voice. That is
Whoa.
That was totally the wrong voice. Can we talk? It's coffee talk. There she is. There she is. No, that's still.
No, they're too high pitched.
It's too high pitched. It is. Darling, there she is. There she is. There's my girl. How are you? Luck, Goldheart. As I live and breathe, what have you done to yourself? It's like now you're all burnish, steel, and sex appeal. It's like, where's my guy? It's like if I wanted that, I've got Harold. You were cute before, all fuzzy and soft and nice, and now you're like this young and hot thing. Ugh, I'm so disappointed. What brings you to darken my door? I can spot that pickaxe anywhere.
Sorry. It caught me off guard. Probably Luck would actually chuckle at that. Oh, well, you know, lots of have happened, and we've picked up quite a few odd bits and ends that aren't much use to us anymore. Sort of pulling out a few magical items. I believe it is the Orb of Shielding, Half Disguise, Cap of Water Breathing for now.
Oh, well, these are nice. So you're dealing right now. So you're bringing things into me. I like that. So are you shopping? Are we looking to barter back and forth a little bit? Or what are you, what's your intention here? I can give you store credit as always, and I'll give you a pass to get to the front of the line. Just give it to Harold.
Oh, I was wondering if there was any interesting items you've got in.
Oh, this and that. Lots of turnover right now. Is there something you're looking for?
Sort of pulling out his crossbow, hand crossbow. Anything to make this a bit better? It's kind of behind the rest of my equipment.
Oh, sure. Let me see. Nothing really super fancy, but I've got a nice one that just has a little more oomph in it. And she brings over and shows you a +1 hand crossbow. She also has a light crossbow and a heavy crossbow, all sort of +1 that she could do. Like I said, nothing fancy, but they'll do in a pinch. As I know, you're normally up close and center, aren't you, big boy?
Yes, I do prefer staying in the front lines.
I bet you do. Oh, look at him. He blushes all the way to his ears, even now that he's all young and hot. Huh?
I'll take the hand crossbow, Marge.
Okay, so I can do an even trade with that. For this shielding and the hat, I'll do an even trade.
Sounds fair. Sort of placing the hat and orb on the desk.
Just pass. Always a pleasure doing business with you. Anything else you're looking for?
Not right now. Not right now. I just wanted to upgrade my range.
Axel steps forward and goes, "Hi, Marge. I want you to meet my son." And Riley comes forward and he sort of looks. Hi, Miss Marge. And she looks at him. She looks back, looks at Axel. Oh, you got him. You have a story to tell about this one, I can tell. I didn't. Wow. Huh. And this is the results. What did you get into, dear? And she then goes, she takes out a little glass and she goes, oh. Magical. But not just a construct, I don't think. No. Huh. I want to hear all about this, but what are you in the shopping for? And Axel sort of shoves Riley, and as though they've maybe rehearsed this a little bit, his first time shopping. Miss Marge, I need a bow, a long bow, but it needs to be not just a regular one because he sort of pulls out a branch, dead branch, and he pulls it, it starts to grow. Because normal wood does that. So something that won't change? And she goes, oh dear, I can take care of that, no problem. Most magical items, just to let you know, no matter what they're made out of, aren't going to change up that much. They're pretty immutable. You have to get some enchanting and other things on there. Now, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't want to know. It's a little bit beyond me, but you do you. Let's see what we can find. And if it's something, we'll have you try it out. If it doesn't work out, you bring it back and we'll see if we can find something else. Does that sound okay? And they go to working at it, and I'll get with Axel offline because I know he wants to buy some gems and other stuff too for what he wants to trade back and forth. But they sort of disappear behind the counter, and does come back with a fairly nice, basically a +1 longbow. And then Marge sort of gives Vidar a look from top to bottom. So, Mr. Fancy Pants! You're muted.
What can I say? I'm pretty good like that, both as Kyle and Vidar.
Well, dear, what do you want from me? She sort of flashes all of her rings and such.
And I put my hand up and flash my rings back and say, well, and I point to my ring of the pack keeper. I am wondering if I can bolster the enchantment on this one.
Well,
Just
I
like-
don't do any enchanting here. I just trade in items.
Ah.
Yeah. For something like that, she pulls out her loop. Oh, that's pretty strong already, dear. You're going to have to find someone who's really, really good to get that thing boosted up.
That's fair.
A warlock, right? You know, getting those extra spells. That's, woof.
Yeah.
Channeling that type of power. I mean, you do
It's
but I'm telling you, oof, dangerous stuff. You know, that's what happened with all of this trouble we're in now was because of the warlocks.
Well, what can I say? I'm trying to right wrongs in this world.
Well, you
But-
just keep on trying, dear.
I will.
I
do
love
have
the
some
look,
other-
though. It's very nice. It's
Well,
very
thank
nice.
you. I was wondering if I could enchant maybe this. If you have a coat instead of a cloak, that could help in any sort of way. But I do have a couple of these things, and he's going to pull out his orb of colding, orb of shield. What is it? Something.
Yeah, I think it was orb of cold protection or something.
Yeah, orb of cold, his cloak of protection, and a couple of health potions he has, and also that mask. And he goes, "I have these to trade with. What do you have?"
Well, what kinds of things are you looking for, dear? Are you looking for something more defensive? Are you looking for something offensive? I mean, you've got your big fancy sword.
Oh yeah, forgot I had him on. I got that. But not on that. I mean, I guess a couple of. If you have something that could speed me up, an item that could speed me up or make me faster.
Well, so potions. I do have a lovely potion of haste.
I will take you up on that.
Now, these are very rare and very expensive, but I would say for... She pushes the healing potions back towards you, but for the... What do you have? The orb? What do you say? The orb, the mask,
And the cloak of protection.
and the cloak of protection? She would trade you all she'd do the haste potion. I'd give you 2 haste potions for all of that. Cloak of protection's fairly nice.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Good trade.
She pushes over the haste potions. So you wanted to speed things up a little bit, huh?
I live life on the edge.
Well, I was gonna say most gentlemen who come in and see me, they want to slow it down, but you do you.
Well, wouldn't you want to get the first strike? He doesn't really understand what's
Yeah.
like the banter
The
going back and
innuendo.
forth. Yeah, so he's just like, well, I want to strike first. Is that not the best offensive?
Well, dear. Just as long as you buy them dinner first.
Why am I buying it?
I would have gone down. Dang it!
Damn it.
She sort of swishes around behind the counter and brings you over the haste potions and pushes them across to you, sort of leaning on the counter. There you are, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Oh, you.
It's like
Sorry,
her big
uh,
beehive, her sort of big black and gray beehive sort of towering over her head.
And I'm going to run my fingers through my hair, casting prestidigitation to make it shimmer and just go, oh, you. Sorry, but I'm taken.
And always the way. I'm taken too. The sexy one out front's mine.
Oh, the big boy.
You know it.
Mm.
She sort of hefts her bosoms.
Can I send this a mental snapshot of this to Luna?
Yes, you can. And Marge goes, got quite a line out here. Do you have anything else you want? You can always come back if you make a purchase. And she hands you over a little ticket so you can go to the front of the line if you need to come back.
Oh, wonderful.
I validate, you know.
Thank you. I am looking for some parchment, maybe some writing implements.
All of that you'll want to get over at General Goods. I don't have any magical parchment in right now, but yeah, up at General Goods they'll be able to take care of you just fine up there.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you very much. I'll head on over there. Though I do want to get one thing evaluated, if you wish.
Oh, identification do you need?
Not identification. Maybe just price-wise. I just want to understand if this is one of a kind or not.
Okay.
I know what it does. I just want to know.
What are you showing?
I'm gonna show the Sphere of Winter Wonders.
And she looks at it, and oh, well. And then she pulls out her loop, and then she goes, oh. She puts down that loop and brings out like something that actually looks like almost like a magnifying glass, but there's no glass in it. It literally is just as though you had taken the lens out of it. And she sort of goes back and forth over it and back and forth over it. It's one of those items, it very powerful. The problem is it's, it would take someone who was crazy, really, if you want to know, to actually use it. You use this thing. You do, don't you? You do, don't you? You bad boy, you.
Oh, how did you know?
So it's sort of a specialty item. You got to have someone who's a little loco to do it. But hey, if that's you, you go. I like you. We should get a drink sometime. Just to talk. I want to see you crazy. What other crazy things do you do? And Riley goes up and goes, Miss March, he likes me to shoot at him with my as I practice archery. And she sort of looks and she goes, one sec. She walks back and brings out a +2 bow and hands it to them. That'll hit him better.
Well, we really appreciate your generosity with that one.
Riley
but
goes,
when you're
Riley goes, we don't eat him though. She sort of looks strangely. She looks back to Luck. What a group you're traveling with, Mr. Luck Goldheart.
I put my arm up around Luck and I say, well, when you're traveling with this slug, you sometimes have to do some crazy things.
Aren't you the cutest couple? Yo, I bet you do.
Ah! Oh, what is that?
Slowly takes his arm, puts it down.
Mental snap.
Now I see
Shots
why you got the makeover,
to
Mr.
Luna.
Luck. You go, boy. Y'all run along now. Y'all have fun. I got more customers. We'll hang out later. You come see me anytime.
I'm just going to take my sphere back.
Luke gives a nod, and the moment they have walked out, Vidar is getting the biggest smack around his head.
As you walk out,
What?
Marge yells with in a loud, way too loud voice, You know, boys, if you're interested, Harold and I are interested. It waves.
Ah! Ah!
Vidar, do you know what it's like to fly? Because I'm sure
yes,
the Neverwinds would be interested.
Actually, yeah, I do know what it's like to fly. I can't really show you, but I've shown Celia. Now, what did they say? I don't understand. What do
It
they
doesn't
imply?
matter. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
He's like shaking his head, walks off.
You know, you should probably get some new clothes. That shirt's looking a little worn. Just
And good point.
so I'm gonna get to general goods. If you want to come join me, that's cool. I need to get some some parchments, or a notebook at least.
So we're gonna leave you guys, and we're gonna swap over to Luna. What's Luna been up to, other than regretting not going to see Marge?
Oh, I
You
mean,
have received
he doesn't.
3 mental
I
snapshots.
cleared.
Yes.
So Luna's actually probably keeping an eye on, yeah, she's probably keeping an eye on Anthony to see if he browses, so he doesn't just wake up in a strange. Because, like, yeah, she carried him up there, so he doesn't wake up in a strange room without knowing anybody there.
Right. So yeah, you head back to Cloak and Fireball, and as you about 30 minutes after arriving there, I mean, if you just sort of are hanging in the room, sort of sitting at the desk,
Pretty much.
you know, meditating, whatever Luna wants to do.
Maybe making some minor adjustments to the map, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear sort of this groan. Oh. From over on the bed.
Did you have the nice nap?
Where am I?
You're upstairs, one of the rooms of the Cloak and Fireball.
Oh. Thank you.
You got fairly deep into your cups, and I did not think leaving you alone would have been wise at the time.
It's appreciated. Thank you.
Do you have a little bit of a clear head now?
Maybe some water would help.
She will float over some water to him in the like little sphere.
Oh,
Because she wants to see if if he'll take it when he's less drunk or
yeah. He's kind of like looking at it like, how do I drink out of this?
and she's gonna indicate she'll make another one out of her face and lean forward into it.
Oh. He sort of leans forward like, it's like, that's new, but convenient. Yeah. Thank you.
And
You follow Saint Cuthbert as well.
I do.
So why would you bring me to a place of rest, knowing what so much a part of my life was spent associating with?
Because you're willing to change. I think you'd be willing to pay penance of a different price, if that is what St. Cuthbert asked.
I certainly owe him some penance. What is it that you are thinking of?
The Order you used to be a part of and no longer chose to be has done terrible things.
Thanks for the raid.
Yes, you raid!
Woohoo!
I seek to rectify that, since I'm sure they have continued to do terrible things in your absence. Do you know what they do with my people?
I suspect.
They attempted to do the same when I encountered your order before, to me. They were unsuccessful.
I wondered if you were in fact the one.
I am.
So what would make you trust me that I wouldn't turn you over? There's quite a reward on your head.
You are certainly welcome to try. But I've been alive for a while, with good reason.
Well, there's no
Also,
doubt.
it would not be good penance if that was what you would do with me, now would it?
That is true. You wear his symbol, and something tells me that's not just an ordinary symbol.
I am the beginning of a new sect, the Tide. Appropriately named, I would say.
Indeed. So what is it you ask of me, Cleric of the Tide?
You know the layout of that order structure. That is information that would be useful to me.
Wow. Well, I do. I was its architect, or one of them. But if your intent is to assault that place, or even infiltrate it, there's more than its layout that you need to know.
Luna will actually take out some parchment because the shoes are doing so if you find a blank sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Take notes. I'm listening.
Go ahead and do me a persuasion with advantage, because we're just going to see how much he gives you.
Okay. Persuasion with advantage. Okay. Persuasion with advantage. 17?
Nice.
Thank you, advantage.
Yeah. The Temple of Purity. It is not a holy order, but an arcane one. The main cathedral is not just a place of worship. You see, the entire complex around the Cathedral of Purity, it wasn't originally a church. It actually is the site of the old High Mount Bard College. After it had flooded fifth or sixth time and expanded beyond the island that it was on, they abandoned it and built the new college there on the main square of Highmount. But the old college, to the west of the city, out in the delta, its ruins sat empty for decades and decades, until the temple came along. You see, the cathedral, to a basic worshipper, looks very much like any other holy building. Vaulted ceilings, beautiful windows, an altar, pulpit, places for a choir. But you see, what it really is a theater. It is riddled with secret doors and passages and hiding places for the temple to conduct their miracles from. It is that central deceit that made me break with them. First in mind, but it was what came later that made me leave physically. See, no one in the upper echelons of the Temple of Purity had any connection to the divine. It was when they started converting and infecting other religions that anyone with any predilection to the divine, true clerics, came to their order, but they were kept in the lowest of ranks, never in the higher echelons. That is, until as the cathedral neared completion, the bishop arrived from out of the east with his choir and wielding that staff. The staff is divine. It is a relic for sure. But that bishop of Hieronius, is fallen. He does not have the favor of the gods or his god any longer. And he has learned to use that staff with arcane means, not divine. And his choir is like a power like I can't describe. I don't understand it. But, well, no one else knows, or certainly the congregations don't, for the identities of the choir is kept secret. It breaks the main tenet of purity. You see, the whole choir is like you. They wear masks, so their faces and their heritage is never seen.
Seems they've found many ways to use my people.
I believe, as you were saying, what they were doing to your people before, and what they say those stones, those...
Yeah, Luna's fists sort of ice up and clench, but she doesn't say anything.
those rendered parts of your people. I believe the bishop now wields all four attributes of your people through that staff, and that is where he is creating his current miracles. They aren't miracles at all. He's somehow controlling the power of the vice and creating miracles. Magic the likes no one could ever control or should be able to.
That magic is not his, and he shall not keep it if I have my way. I cannot let stand those actions. I want those responsible and as little collateral damage as possible. This is why I seek to know the layout. I know there are those that have been deceived. It is not their fault. That upper echelon, as you say, does it knowingly, and that cannot be forgiven.
There are many churches that have come to their senses, found their way back. But as you, I'm sure, know or have felt, the divine is weak right now. There's old stories of the incredible connections that the gods had to this world, but that, for whatever reason, they have abandoned us, or their power is no longer able to penetrate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, at Tyrion abandoned us, Luna would touch just his hand with, like, the tip of her finger.
Mm-hmm.
They have not. They have not abandoned us. He has not abandoned you. And some have returned from a fate that was thought too impossible to return from.
You see,
Have faith.
and you see that faith sort of appear in his eyes. Do me a perception check, just a flat out perception check.
Perception. 12.
On a 12, you can feel a warmth in the room. And you see a sort of a faith ignite in his eyes. I believe you. Here, let me help. And he begins to sketch out on your, as you said, you had maps out. He brings out one of your large pieces of vellum and begins to sketch out the best of his memory. It still has been about a decade ago.
Yep.
The layout of the whole compound of the Cathedral of Purity.
And while he's sketching, she's watching as he's sketching, she'll say, "We all sometimes lose our way. I lost my way as well. And now here I am. It is never too late to try again."
I hope that the gods, through whatever fate and destiny is guiding you, will find their way back to the people of this land.
And she will actually take out the one bracer Veldaff she has left
Yep.
and show him, just kind of like, "As I said, some are already on their way.
He looks at the bracer of Eldath. Yeah, I'm going to reward this. And he taps the stone. This stone. It is just like the one on the staff that the bishop wields.
Her eyes will widen at that. He has a tear of Eldath. That would explain even more. That is not good. That is good to know, though. Thank you.
I hope the knowledge will serve you well. And he sort of talks you through his plans. And one of the things he does say to you is he says, there's a trick that architects know, especially in places like these. And he goes over to the window. He takes a sheet of paper and puts a pinhole in it. And he goes, most people can spot with their own eyes or magical means a hole big enough for you to look through with your eye. But he then holds it up to the light and basically makes a pinhole camera to show as it projects onto another sheet of paper. He goes, but this is how the acolytes and the lesser orders are able to have sight upon the main cathedral. It is very bright in there, and many arcane spells you only need to see to be able to cast.
Luna will sort of nod in acknowledgement. She will then look uncomfortable for about 2 minutes. Like it's a very awkward pause.
Yeah.
And then sort of turn to him. In your time with that order, did you ever encounter anyone named Lauren or Lara?
I cannot say that I did. But it has been nearly a decade since I was down at the cathedral. I have been at the Monastery of the Redeemed Heart for the last 10 years.
Thank you.
I hope you find them.
I don't know if that will be good or bad. I don't know.
Well, then I hope you find peace, whatever the outcome may be.
Maybe at the end of this journey. Thank you very much. Your help is much appreciated.
And he continues to draw. It's going to take him a while.
Oh yeah, no, I figured.
So, back down to Vidar and Luck. What are you all up to? I know Vidar's off to General Goods. Luck, what are you up to? I'd say by this point your stomach is probably rumbling.
Yeah, he's gonna grab something to eat, I guess.
Roll me a investigation or perception, either one, whatever you'd like.
Go with that one. 12.
On a 12, it's actually not too difficult because you're over here in the 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 western quarter of town. So there are some sort of familiar looking spots, and it isn't very long before you see a familiar alley, which you know leads down to the old Noblin Noodles.
Yeah, boy.
If you so choose to head that way.
Yeah, he knows the food's good there.
Okay. So you head that direction down to the familiar sort of back street little area here between actually some of the nicer places. This is sort of like literally where they would put their trash out for their evening and stuff like that, to the sort of overhung entrance of the very small stained walls and uneven floor of Knob's place. There's the beaded curtain in the door. There's not a real curtain there. And basically, as you step in, only about 5 feet wide before you would bump into what would be the sort of main serving bar over to the right. There are a few, just enough 3 tables that are over there. At this point, there's 1 or 2 people in here, but not many. But there behind the bar, you see your buddy, Knob. Hey! Who's that blocking the door? You coming in or you getting out?
Hey. As he sort of comes to take a seat.
Why you look familiar?
'Cause I am.
What do you mean?
Look, Goldheart.
Nah, that's an old guy.
Well, magic.
Wait, you're that guy who was all cursed? You were a tiefling last time I saw you. And now
Well, I
you're
got
like,
better.
you're like the biggest guy I've seen in here. Don't break my chairs. What do you want?
What's the special?
Noodles?
And I'll have those.
Okay, chef special. And he yells into the back, Knob Jr., get down here. And you see a little Noblin come running down run around the stairs, screeches by you, and kind of as he goes by, he's like, and then screeches back into the back. You drinking anything?
Ale.
Hey, okay. Hey, thank you for the 100 bits, Valdrith. I appreciate it. Well, we got some Dwarven in here. It's kind of watery. You'll like it. And he just hands it to you. It's warm and watery, but it has alcohol in it, and it's dark.
Yeah. Can't complain.
So, magic. So, I guess you got rid of the tiefling ring.
Fixed it, more like.
Really?
Hold
So
up.
it did this number on you.
Yeah. Well, kinda. Yeah.
Well, was it or wasn't it?
I don't know.
That's
just gonna go
sometimes
yes.
best. So now you're young, okay, and bigger. What else are you up to?
Got a new gauntlet. Hold up.
Ah, Torm, right? Am I right? That's Torm, right?
Yep, you're right.
Hey, that's pretty good. So what are you doing while you hang around with Torm?
You fight a few demons. No, you fight a few devils one time.
You've been tangling with devils?
For longer than you can possibly imagine.
Is that all tied up with that whole you weren't turning into a tiefling, you were turning into a demon or a devil or a fiend of some kind, weren't you?
Yeah, probably.
You know, she said something like that. Norma, she said that was a big whammy you had on you.
She was right.
A fiend, huh? Here, let me pour you. I'll pour you a shot for that. Here's to not being a fiend. He pours you one. He pours himself one. Wow. So, have you heard about all this crazy stuff with these people with these stories over from what's going on over east side of the Vice, man?
Oh, you mean the Neverwing?
Oh, yeah. A dragon. You know, everyone knows you don't fly, but theoretically you're supposed to be safe if you stay on the ground. Here comes a Netherwing out of the sky, breathing crazy. And then thank goodness for those red guys, right? Am I right? Those red guys saved the day.
Well, they kind of came out of nowhere. Just odd that.
Well, Netherwings kind of come out of nowhere too, so what do you expect, right? Am I right or am I right?
Got a point. Got a point.
But yeah, so here's to the red guys. He pours you another shot. He pours himself another shot. You see that he's looking for an excuse to drink.
Yeah.
He pours you a shot. He pours himself a shot. Hey, to the red guys. And he takes one.
Yeah. Sort of gingerly takes out one, like, sure.
You got a story there. What's up with these red guys? There are more to them? Are they taking a little on the side? Do they got their own angle on this? I bet they got their own angle, don't they?
They seem like some peculiar folk who might be aiding them in the long run.
Ah, so it was a setup. They're running a con, a long con. Kudos to them. Good for long cons. He pours himself a drink, pours himself another one. To long cons! And he takes another one. I need you to roll a constitution after this one. You have advantage because of your size.
It's just 18.
18, you're fine.
Yeah.
Knob, though, being about a quarter of your weight, though. However, he drinks a lot. He's a little buzzy.
So, what's been going down over here for the past few months?
Not too much, you know. The normal stuff. You hear that stuff with what happened with Florian.
Oh, tell me about it.
That was some nasty business you had going on right there. You didn't hear it from me, but the Obsidian Order is involved in that one.
Right, I didn't hear that from anyone.
That type of assassination in the middle of the night, no tracks, no trace, and that funky ass knock you out, whatever kind of going through his system. I almost sent Norm over to help out, but they said no. They brought in some specialist from up Balathira. Now, I tell you, I wouldn't trust no one from Balathira if I was just being all but killed by people from Balathira, because, you know, Obsidian Order, that's like where they hang.
You think it's all linked together?
Here's something I'll tell you, Luck. It's always all linked together. Everybody's got a finger in every pie. That's what I say, and that's what I do, hey, right? If you ain't playing the game, the game's playing you's what I say.
Right.
But I run a perfectly legitimate business.
Legitimate business, yes. No, your business is one of the finest establishments on this side of the Vice.
Top notch. Be sure to tell everyone you hear. I was expecting to have some more traffic in here, but my son didn't get out on with his sandwich board sign down to the southern quarter. He'd stop reading those trash comic books.
Right.
About this time, you see Knob Jr. come out with a bowl of noodles on his head and runs them over to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine. Okay, get out of here. You go take that sandwich board. Do your work. Earn your keep. He sort of gives him a little boot, and you see Knob Jr. run out the front door with a sandwich board side.
That conclave, though, I hear that's...
Hey, it's the party of every 7 years, right? Been 14 years since it's been over on this side, so I'm packing up my wagon and heading with my noodle cart down there.
So,
gotta make money when money's being made, right?
Right, that's fair enough. You know any other big wigs going down there?
Well, all the big wigs are going down there. It's like We've had the Dwarven contingent. They had headed through here. Balathira, they're all going to get their stuff down there somewhere or another. Whether they actually pass through town, the cheapskates, they probably just bypass. But, no. Everyone I know about, that's like the gnomes are going to be there. Someone said they're even bringing up some folks from the southern continent. It's the conclave. Everyone gets together, all diplomatic, because, well, apparently there was some big happening in shebang that happened over during the solstice over at Falcon's Crest.
Yeah, bit of a party crasher, apparently.
Yeah, they say it was a dragon, but it wasn't a netherwing. So all I'm saying is in the last 2 months, you've had 2 dragons show up at 2 cities. I'm just thinking that can't be a good thing.
No, absolutely not. And feel like there's going to be more showing up in the next coming months.
You think? That's
Absolutely.
not good for business. Dragons, when the Netherwings first showed up, it's like people wouldn't even go out of their house. I almost went out of business. I had to go door to door with noodles, which is just a shameful thing.
And do you notice anything like what happened previously? Any similarities?
I can't say that I do. Nah. I mean, the only time that we ever had Netherwings in a way around here, we every once in a while you get someone a little bit either drunk or feeling a little big in the britches, and they would like go, look at me, I can fly. Or you'd have people like your buddy would like turn into an eagle or something, and they just get swarmed like a bunch of air piranhas by those little ones. But we haven't seen a big one. God, my dad used to talk about big ones that would come around when the airships were around, but I haven't seen one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, my dad always said the little ones, they're everywhere. They're sort of the eyes and ears of the big ones.
Right. What did your dad do anyway?
What do you think he did? He sold noodles. What, do you think this isn't a family recipe I got going on here? Tell me you've had noodles like that anywhere else. You think I can come up with that on my own? My grandmother, God bless her soul, developed this recipe for your enjoyment here today. Are you disparaging my grandmother?
No, I think your grandmother did a wonderful job.
Yeah, to grandma. He pours out 2 more shots.
He's a wonderful character. Well. Also, would you know anyone who'd be interested in making armor for a dog?
Armor for a dog? For your little pup here?
Points to him.
I could probably find someone. Now, I have a thought. You wait right there. And you hear him go back to the back and start rummaging around and comes back with a sort of shiny, it looks like barding, like that you would put onto, not a horse, it would be much smaller, but this would be almost like goat-sized type idea. And he comes back and he goes, so, I'm not saying I couldn't help the guy who showed up with his buddy who got turned into a pig going through the vice. But if that buddy would have happened to have been wearing magic armor when he got turned into a pig, then that magic armor kind of ended up, fitting animals instead of people. So I'm not saying that pig ain't around no more? Well, he looks suspiciously at the bowl of noodles. But I can tell you he don't need this armor no more. I'd be happy to part with it, maybe for your pup there, and I figure if it's like normal magic armor, you know, you put it on it, it sort of forms to you. Now, I tried to like put it on me, it doesn't go back to human, but for the pup here, it might be just the thing.
So, what do you think, Glenn?
Crane sort of looks at it, sort of sniffs it, and kind of gives a little happy yip.
Sounds good. How much you say for it?
For a friend like you, probably 500 gold, or if you got something to trade. I'm always interested if in some give and take, a little bartering.
Yeah. Let's shuffle through my inventory again. Shoo-doo-doo-doo. Shoo-doo-doo-doo. We got some boots of Elvenkind.
Aren't you? You were using those.
I were using them, but
Okay.
I stopped using them.
Yep, you're willing to part with them. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, boots for Elvenkind. Oh yeah, he trained you. Boots for Elvenkind for those. Yeah,
Anything
pig
for my
armor.
pup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do me an insight check.
All right, I'll give him an insight. Shoo-doo-doo.
You sticking with it or are you spending?
I'll spend a mulligan. I don't
Or
trust
a
ability.
mulligan or a inspiration, either way that you wanted to do it.
I spent the mulligan.
Okay, on a 15, oh yeah, Knob is getting the way better part of this bargain for an even trade.
Oof, he's
I mean, you're giving him boots for Elvenkind for a
Can I-
person, and he's got pig armor.
he's got pig armor. Yeah. Good point.
I'd say even on the 15, you know that the 500 is steep.
Steep. 200.
He sort of looks at you. He looks at you. He looks at the armor. He looks back at you. Do me a persuasion.
Okay. Oh.
On a 12, he goes, tell you what. How about 250? And 250. And if you come across anything interesting, you bring it by here before you take it to Marge.
So, deal.
We have a deal, my friend. And then he hands it over.
Yep. Iska! I need to borrow some money.
Yeah, we can say Iska is with you.
Yep.
So, yeah, because Iska would not pass up noodles.
Yeah.
So y'all can work out the gold piece, the gold of this later. But yeah, I know Iska's got plenty of cash.
Yep.
So, basically, he's like, so, to friends making deals. And he
The
pours
friends
it-
making deals.
He does another shot. He is well in his cups now, and his lips are flapping as far as talking about stuff. If you've got more things to ask, it is not. You don't have to deep into an insight to know that he's had a quiet couple of days for whatever reason.
Shoo-doo-doo. Do I have anything else that's on my mind? Do I think Nob can answer any more of my queries? Is the question there.
Hey, Knob runs a very legitimate business here. He doesn't have anything he might know nothing about.
So, how's the tieflings been on this side?
We haven't seen him much around. You know, he sort of looks to you and sort of taps on your chest where the shield of Helm would be. They, they're staying underground, so to speak.
Right.
But we hear out of east that, like I said, that solstice thing, some whole new accord was struck between everybody. You know, you get attacked by a dragon, suddenly you try to figure out who your friends are, right?
Right.
As they say, no, you find, you don't have enemies in foxholes, you know.
And how does the those Dragon Syndicate people been? I heard they were still on the road.
Well, the green mass dragon flight, they got all but wiped out. I hear they're trying to regroup up a little bit to the up to the north. That's sort of their territory. We've had some news out of the Black Dragon flight from down south. One of their members came charging through here like his tail was on fire. Said that there's like a whole new race or something down there that they got kicked out of their lair, out of their base, and now it's like the kobolds have taken over or something like that. But apparently they're smart kobolds, not these crazy little blow-up guys that you normally get through here. I just had one of them in here earlier today, asking me if I had stuff that would blow him up. Like he was some kind of cult or something. Fizzle Blam is I mean, the kid called himself Squib, like a squib that you use for dynamite. What are they teaching these kids these days?
I don't know. I'm just a small village man.
How is your village?
It's doing better.
That's good to hear. Let me guess. That's where the demons were. Because of course it is. That's always the way it is, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're probably the 5th adventure through here. It always ends up, they go out, they have some adventures, and sure enough, they got to go save their home. It's just the way it is.
It's almost like putting your nose into other people's business threatens what you know.
Yeah. Well, you do what you got to do, though, right? I mean, what else you gonna do? I mean, it's not like you can let these devils take over your town?
No.
Your wife, your kids?
No. I've just realized I've been an absolute asshole for the past few weeks. As he just slams his head on the floor desk.
Well, I'm sure it's not the first time. It probably is not the last. But you know what the answer always is when you make an ass out of yourself?
What?
You go and you talk about it. I know. You shouldn't be hearing shit like this from me. Damn it. Curse jar. Twice.
Swear jar.
Swear jar. It's always Knob. Always Knob. Well, Knob and Marge. But actually Harold. I think it was Harold last time. But yeah. I may seem all gruff and stuff, but when me and Norma have a fight, or if I've been treating her like an ass, then she usually smacks me around a little bit, but then we talk it out. That's what you do.
This is a talk I'm going to be very afraid to do. Oh.
Well, here's the liquid courage. He pours another shot. I need you to make another con save. This time you don't have advantage.
Yeah.
Actually, 17. damn,
Damn.
Luck can drink.
I don't think he's ever failed. Like
I don't think you have ever failed a con save on drinking with Luck. Not once. And it's not like it's super, super high. A 3 is not crazy high for a con save.
No.
But, yeah, Knob is just like, and I'll tell you, just tell him it's your fault. That'll get you clear quicker than anything. Just say, it was my fault. I'm an asshole. He's really getting a little slumbly bumbly here.
Right. You're doing good work here, Knob. Legitimate business.
100% legitimate business. But if you know someone who needs a curse or anything taken care of, you let them know that I need the work. Norma's wanted us to do another room on the bed and breakfast upstairs, and I keep telling her, not so much chintz. It looks like an angel puked in there. And she just keeps putting up more doilies and chintz and lace, and I can't even walk in there anymore.
I'll point anyone who has a curse your way.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm telling you, angel puke. Ugh, you don't even want to know. It's all lace and pretty and potpourri and pink. Ugh.
All right. I'm going to have to go and do some more business now.
Okay, you come back if you need more noodles or you want a drink. I'll be right here. He gives you finger guns.
As Luck takes his leave.
Cool. God, I love. It's like, okay, I lost track of time as I was doing Knob because I just had way too much fun with Knob. So as we're getting close to wrap up, Vidar, anything we need to hit you with the general store?
Yeah, so I'm just going to go to the general store, and then I realize I need to get some more powdered silver for as a component for my magic circle spells. It dawns on me. I'm like, I need to get that. Then I think, and like, holy water might suffice as well.
Holy water has silver in it, but it wouldn't be enough for your. You would need the actual silver, ground silver for that. So going into the general store, no problem. Just let me know how much and take it out of your thing to get there. Very busy as everyone else is. You don't even see the main guy. It's parchment you can get pretty easily, and so you don't have to wait in line. They trade it out. But on asking around to get ground silver, you'll need to head down to the blacksmith, and you are pointed down towards Ulgora's smithy. And as you head down that direction, you arrive.
As I'm walking as well, I will find a alley to pass through and just bamf Lysithea back into ring form.
Okay. You do so, and actually, the alley you happen to pick, you see Luck come heading out towards you. He is. He doesn't look like he's drunk, but boy, you can. Whatever he was drinking was strong because you can smell the shots coming off of Luck as he comes toward you. But he seems to be in good spirits, I would assume. Luck.
Yeah, he's in good.
And Luck actually knows the way to Ulgora's, so he can sort of direct you down to the blacksmith, who was an elemental blacksmith, both fire and ice. As you guys come down there, you...
I cast prestidigitation because he just reeks. I just look at him and say, you really need a shower. How much did you drink?
Not enough.
Yeah, he still seems stone cold sober to you. It's just the fact, just that smell of booze is coming off of him. And you arrive down here near the southern quadrant, sort of right on the edge between the southern and eastern quadrants. and you were able to find Ulgora's, which is right on the edge of town. And as you step in there, you do see this very, very large tundra elf, which close. It's basically they are a mix between high elves. I'm sorry, wood elves and Goliaths. Has a shaved head except for a very long single braid that goes all the way down past his waist. And you see sort of these very primitive looking tattoos that mark his skin. And as you walk in, this just massively muscled, large figure just onto this. What you're looking at, it looks sort of like a glaive, a very long glaive. And as he hits it each time, you see this sort of blue magical aura sort of run through the blade. Vidar, even though you are not Iskra, you can see this sort of frost and cold magic is being infused through this blade as you see one of his hands looks like it is covered in frost and ice.
I'm going to telepathically say to Lysithea, would that be something you'd be interested in? A little bit more cold damage for when we face Neverwings.
Well, it's very nice, but I think I'll do with the way that I am. I'm also not, while very skilled, I'm sure, to work metal such as mine. I've already been reforged in a
That's true.
crucible much more powerful than this one.
Fair enough. I'm very sorry for pushing that onto you.
Oh, I understand you like to impulse buy. So did
Yes.
Iskra.
Yes, he did. I'm going to say in Elven, hello there. Well met. How are you doing? Hello.
He looks
Greetings,
up
person.
at you, and in Elf, he doesn't seem to. You can tell that he recognizes the Elven, even if he does not understand the Elven, and says back in Sylvan. I believe you speak Sylvan. Greetings.
Ah, the older tongue. Wonderful. It's been a long time since I've conversed to anyone in this language. Hello.
How can I help you?
Powdered silver. Grounded, preferably.
Do you have the silver?
I don't have the ingots. I do have 35 silver coins.
I don't grind coin.
Can I buy some ingots and then you can grind them?
I don't have silver ingots.
Could you point me to somewhere that does?
He just points out the door.
I like him.
Never changed.
I'm going to turn to Luck. Luck, where can we find silver ingots?
He looks over to Luck and looks at you and looks you up and down. Luck, Goldheart. Questioning, says it in common to you.
Yep.
You have changed.
So I've been told.
Tell your friends I have a message.
Uh-oh.
The trees have spoken to me. The moral thaw. The southern grove. is speaking in unison as it never has before. It has a message. The axle upon which the sphere and destiny turns must no longer remain hidden. And that is where we're going to end our session.
God damn it, Lich! What have you done?
Lich, I'll tell you what. It's always
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to our story. We are going to be off for the next 2 weeks of interest for the Alicia, myself, and Bird, along with some other of our friends, including the other Kyle,
Yes.
are going to, and Scrat and Alice and some other, are actually going to play live. Unfortunately, we won't be able to stream it, but from Gen Con, we are actually going to play a tie-in from the southern
can't see me,
continent
but-
of Rymera to further investigate the Shimmering Grove and what they are talking about. So we are actually going to do a live session that will then tie back into the main storyline of the Vice, which we'll find more about when we get back. But let's go around real quick and say hello to our cast members. Let's start off with Dragons or Cats.
Hello, everyone. I am Dragons and Cats, and I was playing Vidar Lycran. You can find me over the internet as Dragons and Cats, and I do stream D&D games, the Underachievers and Dragons Brew D&D on Mondays and Wednesdays, both at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I was very excited for today's session. I was very happy it happened, and very sad for 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks.
oh,
And missing Gen Con.
oh.
It's fine.
Next up, we have NNG9.
Hey, I'm NNG9 on Twitch, where I sometimes stream stuff. Depends on if the internet likes me or not. NNG98 on Twitter, where I tweet stuff. Sometimes I remember to put the plug, sometimes I don't. That's also it. I will also be at Gen Con. Woo! You can have your puns in person if you're there.
Next up, we have Good Guy Pie.
Hello, everyone. I am Good Guy Pie. You can find me at Good Guy Pie on the Twitches, where I normally stream story-based games. Most recently, I've been working through Lobotomy Corporation, which is a nightmare of a simulation game, but very fun. I am also found on Too Good To Guy on the Twitters, where I sometimes post what some things are going on. And yeah, I won't be at Gen Con because I am poor and live in England.
Luna, Luck, Vidar, you all have advantage. Go ahead and put that in for next time from our good friend Fernando.
Thank you.
I am who am I? I am Tall Squall, and I am so glad everyone tuned in. We will be continuing in 2 weeks, and we will be having fun, exciting things of what has happened down on this southern continent of Rymera, where potentially Ryan Talia at one point had influence. Anyway, we are going to go raid the Scraticus Academy as they are doing a big 18-hour fundraiser. So be sure to throw some flexes or anything else in the old chat over there. And until next time, gather your friends together and tell a story.
Bye. Stay hydrated.
Kitten.
And we are clear.
Yeah. All right.